Welcome back, everybody. Again, we're here with Nancy Houghton from Helping Hands Rehab, which is in Roscoe. We've been talking about all the different things that could be wrong with your hands. There are a lot. There are some things that people can do, though, at home to build up their hand strength, right?
Yep, all sorts of things. Okay. You know, and starting from the top, from posture, you know, you can pick up the swimming pool noodles, cut it to a length, and you can actually put it on whatever chair you're working on, or even with a, you know, in your recliner, to start paying attention to your posture, that just leaning against that. Or if you're driving long distances, you can
try this.
Put that in your car seat and just have something like that there.
It's a little tough and rolly.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be super
It'll flatten
comfortable?
out a little bit. No.
It does, but I mean, man, am I sitting up straight? Yep. I can feel it.
Yep, and it's just a nice little reminder.
Okay.
You can also to do some.
And those are cheap.
Those are cheap, yeah. It's less than $2 for a big one.
Yeah.
So get it with friends. But you can also, I have TheraBand that you can do some arm exercises with, but you can use a bungee cord. That's all it takes, is just a little bungee cord
something that's
that
stretchy where you can
stretch. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you have a decent grip on it, because obviously you don't want it to go flying.
You don't want it to spring back and, you know, slap you in the hand either.
Right. But you also want to pay attention and do the motions at your shoulder blade and not just your arm. That's not going to do any good. But if you pull it back from your shoulder blade, that's where you get a lot of the exercise.
Can you show us the difference of what that looks like?
Yes. If you grab on.
Okay.
And
so, like, is this correct?
Can you feel it from your shoulder blade?
I don't know.
Or you take
I feel it mostly in my arms.
If you take this and put it back there.
Okay, now this is all weird.
Okay, now lean back on it. And you should kind of feel yourself kind of
awkward.
pinching.
But yeah, okay, I feel it, I feel it.
Now somebody who is a little less in shape might not feel it so much, and it takes a little bit to find
Well, I'm by no means in great shape. Yeah, I could definitely work out more than I do.
Yeah, couldn't we all? But that helps, having something there kind of helps you feel where you're supposed to be feeling it.
Gotcha. Okay, so put something behind you. Use the noodle trick anyway for posture, and then use it at least maybe when you first start doing this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
You can also get a big bucket of rice.
Okay. Everyone probably has this at home.
And you can sit there and dig through there. And this is my small bucket. I have a 13-pound bucket that people have to dig through and find different objects in there.
And how does this help here? Why don't I just take
It's a nice hand, whole arm strengthening. We usually have people do it on a table, but you can kind of feel.
You could do this while you're watching TV.
You easily
sit
can.
there, turn on the show, and just kind of dig through it.
It's a real good thing for kids, too. It's very interesting for them. They love it.
Yeah.
They do make a mess. I will warn people of that.
When I took this from you, I'm like, oh gosh, please, whatever you do, Jeannie, don't spill it. I'd be here all day cleaning this up.
Yes, you would. And it's happened before.
Oh, no.
But it's a nice exercise, and you give the kids something to find in there. And they can pull out whatever. You can also get the silly putty at home.
Yeah, like we were talking about before the break.
Get a couple of things, because they're really small.
Yeah.
But then you put little beads in them, or you know, little nuts, bolts that you can actually have the kids pick out of there. That really, my son was having a problem. They said that he wasn't strong enough for his handwriting, that he just couldn't grip it and put enough pressure on. Brought home some putty and some beads. He loved doing it. And it really strengthened up his fingers so that he could write better at school.
Well, because school's out right now, kids are going back to class in maybe a little more than a month, and I remember that from school every year, the first couple days my hand would kind of hurt because all of a sudden you're doing all this writing and you're not used to it.
Right.
And to be honest, now being out of school, I usually use computers, and I've noticed if I'm in a situation where I have to write a lot, it doesn't take much to, you know, to start feeling it.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So what age kids are we talking about who should be doing all this stuff? The rice and the putty and all that?
Kind of that preschool, I would say, like 4 to, you know, I still have my 9-year-old doing it periodically.
Okay.
That he just still, when he gets real light, he, you know, at the beginning of the year, his writing is just really light, and the teacher can't read it because it's so light. So it's like, okay, do some of these hand exercises, and and it works.
Well, they'll be able to read it a little better too when they get older and they start using pens.
Yes.
It's a little different, but it's still, you know, the act of doing it can be a little bit painful. What about, should parents have their kids be writing during the summer to keep those muscles up?
That is always
Here, I'm going to hand this very carefully back to you.
it's always a good thing to be practicing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, writing, and it doesn't even have to be words. You can be having them do those mazes or the word searches.
Or just draw.
Or draw.
Well, that
color.
might be more fun. Or have them write like a creative story. That's fun too.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So what then would you recommend that people, like, should they start with these things first, or should they come to a clinic like yours first, and again, you're with Helping Hands Rehab, should they come someplace like that first and then be told, do this at home? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a do-it-yourself kind of person,
Yeah.
so they can try it. The problem comes in is if they haven't been diagnosed. Some of the things can irritate them if it's the wrong thing, but as long as you're not doing it for an extended period of time, like, no, she said to do the rice, so I'm going to do that for, 2 months before I go see somebody, and it just keeps hurting and hurting, obviously that's not the thing to do.
So you want to kind of weigh it, and if it starts, if it's worse or if it's not getting better, maybe think about coming in and seeing someone, because you really don't want to do permanent damage.
Right.
Okay, we are out of time, unfortunately, because I feel like we could talk about this all day. But give people your where your company is located and also the website in case they want more information.
We are in Roscoe, right on the corner of 251 and Bridge Street.
And it's Helping Hands Rehab.
Helping Hands Rehab, and our website is www.helpinghandsrehab.com.
Okay, if you missed any of this, we'll have this information for you again after the show. Thank you so much, Nancy, for coming on. My hands feel all residuey from the rice, though. Yeah, that's
Don't touch your black pants.
Oh, okay. I will leave it alone. We'll have this website for you again right after the break.